You know, I am thinking Mark Dice is a comedic genius. Why? Because every time I look at this man, all I hear is a itty little Brian Stelter voice. And honestly, as long as CNN keeps him on the air, well, Mark Dice is relevant, so it's a pretty genius move when you think about it. Either ways, you may be asking yourself, Jay, why do you speak in such a manner in this video where I tell you, for the past 4 years, it has all been about the mother Russia, Russia, for CNN and all of the other mainstream outlets. Now, we're here and there may actually be a true, interference. Oh, this song has changed oh so much. Either ways, yeah, let me stop that. let me stop with all of that. Because no, not for the entire video, guys. Come on. Either ways, we're here. Brian Stelter. Golly. Let's hear what he has to say.
I think we should be honest about America's supply and demand problem and why democracy is in a perilous place right now. The 2020 election is over, even though President Trump is still in denial about that.
So, supply and demand. Disinformation supply and demand. Do you know what we really demand? Honesty, authenticity. That's what we demand. As a nation, that's what we are asking for. We're asking for the truth. And for the past 4 years, man, it's not just Brian Stelter. He's the one who did the most respondable to video, but it's all of media, the entire entertainment industry. Each and every individual you've ever seen come across a screen is a part of this insanity. You, sir, are way older than me, and I remember the year 2000. Is there a chance, yes, to pretend as if you have the power, like your collective might of the media combines can determine the outlaw over the outcome over the laws of this land? Is why people are so infuriated with you.
Claims of voter fraud are the fraud. Thus, reliable news sources are mostly moving on to cover President-elect Biden, to cover the transition instead. But there is...
Well, that's the thing. You need the other side for the transition, first and foremost. And secondly, President-elect isn't a thing.
An entire constellation of websites and talk shows that are in denial.
Okay, so let's see who we got over here. Salem Media Group, Newsmax. I've been watching a little bit more Newsmax. I've been into the Daily Caller as well. OAN. Oh yeah, I mean that's number one. That's the one that's on the TV because bad chicks, right? Alex Jones and Infowars. Fox News actually sided with you guys. You got Dan Bongano or Bongino. I'm not sure which one it is. The whole bunch of folks over from Fox, including Tucker Carlson, who's been, kind of been put on put himself out there like super hard when it came to the evidence from Sidney Powell, and but that's neither here nor there. The deal is that as an adult, right? Like you are expected, it should be expected of you to be making your own decisions and your own choices, no matter who you listen to. It's up to you. But that's not his view of the world. I mean, the man is soft as baby shit, guys. Let's be real. Like if there was a poster child, if you look up, just a pure femininity within, like, saying a masculine frame, Brian Stelter is right there. He's he's like almost 100% estrogen. So the idea, so ideas, the battleground of ideas is scary to him, is scary to all of those, particularly of those who feel that they have this power, that they have this control, which in many cases they freaking do. Like they do have that control because of the different environments that we have all throughout the nation. So in a blue area, particularly of the urban variety, yeah, Yeah. That reality is completely different than a red area where, freedom's given a little bit more leeway.
Just like Trump. They are supplying disinformation about the election results. And wherever there's a huge supply, there is a high demand.
No, no, that's not how that goes, Brian. Whenever there's a huge demand, that's when you can stockpile for it. That's when it's best to enter this with the supply, but demand has to be there first. And as far as information goes, disinformation, misinformation, proper information, whatever you want to call it, it's all we are a little bit overloaded with it right now, and everyone says what they say with an agenda behind it. But Jesus Christ, man, like to sit here and want to knock off your competition as opposed to walk into your competition, really does say a lot about CNN and your entire ideology, the entire blue team, the entire left side right now. That's within its own little civil war in the Democratic Party. Let's continue.
These crowds in Washington over the weekend prove the point. These crowds are being deceived about the election, but there's demand for it. There's demand for a fictional universe.
Here's the thing about they're being deceived, dude. Like, they're adults. They're adults. It really doesn't. It really doesn't stop. Doesn't cease to amaze me how all of these individuals are happy to pretend as if, wait, no, they're a bunch of adults. You're supposed to be your countrymen, Brian Stelter. You're supposed to be out there and talking to them and understand and trying to come to some type of commonality. But when you make millions upon millions of dollars, as Brian Stelter do, and you go from your limo to your penthouse, from your penthouse to your limo, then back to work, then to your penthouse to your limo, then you go to your limo to your nice little outside place. What was that, like the outskirts, your log cabin, your second summer houses, your timeshares and shit. Like, you can really just lock yourself out of the world around you, and it's nice if you got the bread to do it.
You know what? I don't want to call it an alternative reality anymore, because it is not reality. There's nothing real about this. But in this fictional parallel universe, the election was rigged. It was stolen out from under Trump, and Trump was the rightful winner. This is the new birtherism.
Birtherism. Okay. Guy, apples and oranges. All right. The question about Barack Obama's birth certificate, where like most things, I just tend to brush it off. And you sitting here trying to draw this parallel, I think it's nonsense as well, because there's been precedent for this exact scenario where it's like, wait, there's something fishy afoot.
We are going to be reckoning with the consequences of these lies for years. Now, I don't know what you thought after the election. I kind of thought this stuff would start to subside by now, nearly 2 weeks after election.
Well, that's the thing. That's your Trump derangement syndrome kicking in, because you're the same side, you're the same team. You, Cenk Uygur, and all you guys are sitting there like, oh well, he's just gonna quit. He's just gonna tap out. Like, screw that noise. Like, he's not going. He's gonna give up, because he's such a you have this guy built up in your head, and instead of actually examining him, you've maintained this this idea of him, and it's really sad to watch.
Day. But think again, it is actually getting worse. These made-up stories and claims about voting machines and other fraud, they are airing all across Fox and other parts of the right-wing media world.
Well, here's the thing. I got a one down on down this channel, a few videos down, called Nothing to See Here. By all means, go check that one out. I mean, and that has absolutely nothing. That's nothing to do, because it took place in New Jersey. It has nothing to do with the major cases and everything else like that that's going on right now.
Trump lawyers like Rudy Giuliani are being given free rein and lots of airtime to spread these lies to millions of people.
Or it's evidence. We saw the press conference. It's evidence. Like, all of it is evidence, and it's up to the courts and our laws to sort it all out. How do you not understand this? How do you not respect this? The deal is that you're paid not to. Like, and why it's this is like watching the media just kick its credibility in the balls over and over and over again. And it's actually been pretty fun to document over the past couple of years.
Those lawyers are losing in the courts. So instead, they're fighting in the court of public opinion. They're fighting on Twitter, they're fighting on Fox, and on channels even further to the right than Fox. And there is a great, terrible supply of this content. That's true, but it is time to wrestle with the demand problem.
But here's the thing, and this is what they are purposefully not admitting even to themselves. Once again, I don't think that he's lying, because he's told when he sold the lie to himself, so thusly it's not a lie, and that's the way the feminine brain and the estrogenics work. If you can convince yourself of it, then guess what? It's up to the rest of the world to accept you for you. Sister, that's not how it particularly works. And real talk, I think we're done here because this is the same organization that came out and said, "Oh yeah, you can't read these documents when it comes to CNN." Like the cat's been out of the bag, and them trying to slander their competition it really goes to show why AT&T is looking to sell the network. It has no more credibility, and without credibility, when it comes to news and information, then what do you have? You just some jackass sitting in talking. No different than me, right? So, guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like this, also like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice, you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring and the Patreon links in the description, and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, Brian Stelter is a piece of shit. He really is. I mean, he's always come across. He's like, it's just they use fear. They use fear and intimidation, and he really is like George Costanza. Just whatever needs to be said, whatever I got to do to get my check. But you guys may feel differently. You know, if you want to defend this shit, knock yourself out. That's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.